All right, we are back again today, guys, to talk about the upcoming changes to Swords of Legends Online. The closed beta 2 is starting June 1st. They did a live stream today to give us some more information, so we took notes on it so we could give you guys a bit of information here. So let's get into it. So the first one that they talked about was the partial English voice acting that's coming in closed beta 2. They previewed it a bit on stream. It sounded really good to me. Some people probably still won't be happy with it, but either way. They want the full English voice acting to be released for launch. There's supposed to be a way to toggle between the Chinese and English voice acting at launch, so you can experience the game whichever way you want. They did mention an improved system to the leveling system. So you're supposed to be leveling faster and no more hitting like leveling walls where you kind of feel slowed down, which definitely helps because true endgame content for MMOs is where everybody tries to be and everybody wants to be, especially when you're trying to play with friends who've been playing for a while. There will be a complete wipe coming after beta 2. So character creation and name reservation will come before launch. They didn't give a release date for us yet, but they did say it will be in a couple weeks. So we're guessing end of June, beginning of July. All future content or DLCs will be released for free for everybody who owns the game. There is a roadmap that will be coming out closer to launch where you'll be able to see the patch notes and upcoming patches that will be getting released. But yeah, it'll be a few weeks after beta before we actually get any new content.
Now, the first battle pass is planned for a couple of weeks after release. They did talk about housing as well, so you cannot share a house, but your friends will be able to use it. There isn't going to be marriage in-game, but emotes and costumes will be added for later for roleplay purposes. There's going to be no costumes at launch. The shop will stay exactly the same. There's not going to be any surprises. Basically, a beta shop is going to be the launch shop. Now, looking into character customization adjustments and additions, they are talking about definitely adding some stuff. Now, Gameforge assumes you will get more character slots as the additional classes are added, and raids will come only weeks after the launch. This is not going to be in the closed beta 2. Although hard mode dungeon difficulty has been increased for beta 2, closed beta 2, and extreme difficulty dungeons will likely come with the raids. Now, one issue we did have and we did talk about was regrouping with party members. They are aware of it. They are investigating it. This is not going to be fixed during closed beta 2. They basically just said if the team leader goes into an area first, the rest of the party members should be able to get in the same instance.
Yeah, if you guys remember, we did talk about that in our first video. It was very annoying, but hopefully it gets fixed for launch. The one thing that they are adding that's going to be really big is they're adding a new zone called Valley of Echoing Blades. This is going to be a PvP area, so where you can do faction combat and all that kind of stuff. The zone will be split between two sides, which is the red versus blue. So red is mysticism and blue is heaven's children. There's no safe zone in this area, so if you go there, just get ready to fight and get jumped. You will be able to choose your faction once you hit max level. Choosing a faction is mandatory. If you want to stay neutral, you can be neutral the whole time. Faction PvP versus opposing faction is allowed in other zones when flagged for faction PvP. This resets at 6 a.m. if you do flag yourself. You won't be able to change until 6. So if you set it, you're going to have to remember that.
Now, there are faction daily quests to fight for resources. Faction gear, mounts, and costumes will be provided by Reputation and PvP credits. Reputation store is not the cash store, and the Reputation store will allow you to purchase a faster cooldown faction change. Now, both factions do have a mount, so Red has a Red Dragon mount, and Blue has a Heavenly Crane. Factions are character bound, not account bound, and you can switch factions after 7 days. Now, so some faction systems are not available in closed beta 2 or at launch, such as guild versus guild, alliances, and 100 versus 100, so instance.
100 versus 100 sounds pretty exciting to me. That sounds like big, wide-scale PvP, which most MMOs kind of thrive at endgame on PvP. especially once dungeons, raids, and all that kind of get cleared out. So having these more PvP options is, I think, going to be good for the longevity of the game. Because if you look at a game like Black Desert, the game thrives on PvP. Like the end game is farming and it's just PvP. So having that will hold a game together. But thank you guys for joining us for this quick, short little video about Beta 2. It starts tomorrow, June 1st. So we can't wait to see you guys all there. Let's start playing some solo together.
I was hoping I could break your